So I've been having some pretty interesting conversations recently with some viewers about basic security camera questions. And I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to put this into a video form, primarily so I can just refer people to this video when they have certain types of questions. And I thought maybe it would help some of you guys out too. Now, this is just going to be very basic stuff. If you are not technically savvy at all, this is the video for you. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So if you are technically savvy, a lot of this stuff might already make sense to you, but there might be some new stuff in here too, so I recommend sticking around to check out what we're going to be talking about. Also, if you know somebody that this video might benefit, if you could share it with them, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you can give this video a thumbs up, I would appreciate that too. Now, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos like this one. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so scenario number one. I had somebody ask me, what security camera is going to be the best for monitoring a very long driveway? This person was going to be going out of town for several months, and they wanted to keep an eye on a driveway that they had coming into their property. Now, this was a very long driveway. They had a shed that they wanted to connect the camera to shoot down this driveway. The driveway was maybe 200 feet long, something like that. Now, the thing that I want to talk about is the difference between viewing range and detection range. Because one thing to keep in mind, especially with battery-powered cameras, is that, say we've got the Eufy camera here, or maybe the Ring stick-up camera here, is that even though they could technically view all the way down that 200-foot driveway, they only have a detection range of about 20 to 25 feet. Meaning that it is not going to start recording anything unless something comes within 20 feet of the actual camera itself. So I was telling this person, it doesn't really matter how long your driveway is. If the person coming down the driveway doesn't come within 20 feet of the camera, it is not going to record anything at all. So that is the biggest thing to keep in mind when you're picking up an outdoor security camera, is that they do have a max detection range of, like I said, 20 to 25 feet. Now, there are some ways around this with different security systems. For example, Ring security camera. So we've got the Ring stick-up camera right here. Detection range, I think it's about 25 feet. But Ring also has motion sensors that they sell too. The great thing about these individual motion sensors is that they can pick up detection early. So I could take a motion sensor, I can stick it out further into the yard, maybe for this person, stick it down the driveway a little bit. That motion sensor can trigger motion early and then tell the camera to start recording early. So that is one option that you can look into. Another one is 24/7 recording. Certain cameras have the ability to set up 24/7 recording. Now, typically that is going to be an extra cost if it is recording footage to the cloud. But for example, we have got the Wisecam version 3 here. This camera right here allows you to put a memory card in the bottom of it. With that memory card, you can set up 24/7 recording. So this little camera right here can record 24/7 with no additional fees. So that is going to be a good option if you want to go with a little bit cheaper route. Now, the next feature that I want you to keep in mind is the difference between recording length and retrigger time. Essentially what that means is obviously recording length is the length of the video that is going to be recording. Some cameras cannot record as much footage as others. For example, we have got the Blink system. Blink cameras max out at 30-second recordings. You can only record 30-second clips. But for say something like Eufy right here, Eufy can record 2-minute clips. So 120 seconds is what you can get on this camera here. And I believe even Arlo can go up to 300 seconds. So it is going to be different per camera. Now, when I talk about retriggering times, that is the difference between recording one clip and recording the next clip. Some cameras have a cooldown of up to 30 seconds before it'll start recording another clip. So whatever happened in that 30 seconds, you are not going to get. Some cameras allow you to adjust the retrigger time. If we take a look here at the Blink camera system, so here are the settings for my Blink camera system. I have got right here retrigger time. I can go anywhere from 60 seconds all the way down to 10 seconds. So that's 10 seconds between clips. But it can also go up to 60 seconds between clips. So that's adjusting right there. And then if we take a look, 2 below that, we have clip length. We can go anywhere from a 30-second clip all the way down to only a 5-second clip. I'm not sure why you would ever want to have a 5-second clip, but those are the options. And you see that it maxes out at 30 seconds, and that is going to be with the Blink system. So when you're doing your research for a battery-powered security system, keep in mind the recording length and what that retrigger time is. So pretty much with any battery-powered security camera out there, you are going to have the option of looking at a live view of what is going on. Whether you're going with Ring or Blink or Nest or anything like that, you can at least bring up a live view without having to pay any extra. But with a lot of these big name brand companies, I'm talking about Ring, Arlo, Nest, Blink, you will have to pay a monthly subscription fee per camera. Now it's typically about $3 a month per camera. A lot of these systems out here have lower rates when you get to have more cameras, where you pay like, say $10 a month and that covers like all of your cameras. So we've got different options like that. But if you don't have a subscription service, you are not going to be able to save any clips, meaning that if you want to go back and look at something that happened yesterday, there's going to be nothing there. There's going to be nothing to view. Now, there are 3 camera systems that I am aware of that you don't have to have a subscription. That is going to be Eufy security cameras. That is also going to be Wyze security cameras, and also Reolink security cameras. So if that is something that you want to do, if you want to get a security camera that does not require you to have a subscription, those are the 3 brands that I would recommend looking into. Now, talking about subscriptions and cloud footage. With those subscriptions, you typically are going to get anywhere from 30 days of video history all the way up to maybe 60 days of video history. Once you reach the end of that 30 days, say you have a clip that is 31 days old, that clip is going to be deleted. You are not going to have access to that clip anymore. So if you find a clip that you do want to keep, make sure you're either downloading it to your device or saving it in some way. A lot of these systems out there, like Ring and Arlo, have web portals that allow you to access this footage from the computer. I had somebody message me on Instagram saying that they had a clip saved on the cloud that they wanted to keep, and it ended up disappearing. The date of that clip was 32 days old. This person thought that because there were certain days of the week that nothing was recorded, that it was 30 total days that were being saved instead of 30 consecutive days. So if you go 2 weeks of nothing being recorded, that still counts against you. So that's why I bring this up and want you to keep that in mind. Now, the next thing that I want to mention are mounting options. So we've got a camera here from Arlo. We've got a camera here from Eufy. We've got a camera here from Ring. Now, with all of these cameras right here, they all have the same mounting option. If you take a look right here, this right here is called a 1/4-20 mount. That is the size of the screw hole that these cameras all come with. And it's standard across all security cameras. They're all gonna have it. So here's the one for Eufy on here. There's another one for Ring. If I take off the little cover right here, the one for Ring is also back there too. Now, not every camera has them, but I will say most of them do. And the one thing I want you to keep in mind is that they're standard across the board. So if you have an Arlo security camera, but you like a mounting option from Eufy, you can get the Eufy mounting option and use it for your Arlo camera. You don't have to stick to the same brand with the same mount. If you find a mounting system that you like, as long as it has that 1/4-20 mount on your camera, you're gonna be good to go to get any brand that you find out there. Now, speaking of mounts for your camera, I had somebody that messaged me that was having an issue with their security camera at night. They took a camera and they mounted it right flush against the house like this, and they were trying to look down the side of the house, which was fine during the daytime. But when you try to do that at nighttime, there are infrared lights that are going to turn on, and when it is close to a wall like that, there's a very good chance that the infrared lights are going to reflect off of the wall and ruin the image for you. The wall is going to be so bright that it's not going to be able to see very far at all. So that is one thing to keep in mind. When you are picking a place to mount your security camera, don't have it too close to the wall. I run into this issue a lot when I'm trying to test video doorbells. Because of how my doorbells are set up, they are very close to the wall, and I'll get issues like that of reflection. So just something to keep in mind when you're mounting these up. Maybe pick a mount that is going to allow you to have the camera maybe a good 3 to 4 inches away from the wall and then shoot it down that way. Now, there are options too for turning those infrared lights off. So maybe you're shooting down an area that has like floodlights or some kind of extra lighting down where you're trying to get, and you don't need the infrared lights on. You can turn those off to help with that kind of reflection, but just keep that in mind when you are mounting your cameras. Another thing to keep in mind when you are looking into picking out a security camera is that some security cameras can perform better when they are plugged in. Now, what I mean by that is, say for example, this Arlo security camera right here. When you have it plugged in, you're going to get an extra 3 seconds of buffering in the beginning of the video. So a problem that some security cameras can have is that the trigger time is too slow. So say somebody walks around the corner of your house and they walk past the camera, it's gonna miss that first 3 seconds of it, and you could potentially only maybe be getting the top of the person's head as they've walked right past your camera. If you do have it plugged in, you are going to have a 3-second buffer at the beginning of that video. So it should pick up whatever is happening right before it happens. So that is a cool feature with that, but it is something you have to have the camera plugged in for. And I have a lot of people ask me, if I set up a solar panel connected to my cameras, does that count as it being plugged in? And that does not count as it being plugged in. It does not provide enough power for it to sense that it is plugged in to use any of those features. So solar panels are just there for topping off batteries, not actually providing steady power to the cameras. And the last feature is recording 24/7 on your camera. If you want to record 24/7 on any of your cameras, they do require them to be plugged in. Again, I will go with Arlo as an example because they do have an option for you to record 24/7 with these cameras. It is an extra fee, but they do have the option. And if you do want to set up that option, this camera has to be plugged in all the time. Now, closing out this video, I want to talk about some of the key features that you should be looking for when picking out a security camera. First one is going to be fast motion activation. You're going to want a security camera that responds really quickly when recording things and doesn't lag too long. Next, you're going to want to pick a camera that has an easy to use app. For me, I would say that Ring, Arlo, and Eufy are probably 3 of my favorite. Oh, and Wyze too. Those are probably my 4 favorite as far as apps. Those are all pretty easy to use. Other things to consider are night vision. Does it have just normal night vision, or does it have a color night vision because it has a spotlight on the camera? How well does the audio and two-way talk work? What's the field of view of the camera? Are you going to be getting a nice wide field of view, or is it going to be kind of cropped in? And then lastly, what are the video storage options? Are these things that you can record locally to the camera? Are they getting stored up in the cloud? Is there another way for you to save clips to them? So those are all things that I would look at. I'm not going to go into detail into any of that stuff because this video would be then 30 minutes long, but I just wanted to give you guys some ideas of when you're searching for cameras, things to keep in mind when you're watching videos or doing your research out there on what those camera features are. Anyway, I hope you guys got some good information out of this video. Like I mentioned before, if you could share this with anyone that it might help, I would greatly appreciate it. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.